As the Anambra State governorship election draws near, stakeholders across diverse sectors have intensified efforts to ensure the November 8 poll is both credible and successful. Among the activities driving this momentum are stakeholder meetings, aspirant-focused conferences, and election-based workshops, all geared towards fostering transparency and voter confidence. Journalists and media leaders in Anambra State have also joined the pre-election engagements, participating in a two-day exclusive forum aimed at refining strategic approaches for improved electoral coverage. The forum, held on Wednesday, October 15th and Thursday, October 16th, 2025 in Oka, was convened by the International Press Center IPC in partnership with the Center for Media and Society, CEMESO, with support from European Union, support to media of the EU, support to democratic governance in Nigeria. The theme of the forum, enhanced reportage, exclusivity and accountability of stakeholders towards Anambra Global Poll, sets the tone for technical and interactive sessions focused on ethical journalism, inclusive coverage and multi-stakeholder collaboration.
Enhanced reportage, inclusivity and accountability of stakeholders towards the Anambra election, governorship election, holding in November this year. Let me state that this forum marks the beginning of a three-day engagement by Component 4. Component 4 is support to media of the European Union support to democratic governance in Nigeria, EUSDJ2. That program is being jointly implemented by the International Press Center and the Center for Media and Society agencies, National Orientation Agency, media professional bodies, and as well as media appearances, which are geared towards deepening civic and voter education. With the full details, while the full details of all these activities being undertaken under Component 4, including the goal, the objectives, and expected results shall soon be presented. Permit me to state here that they are designed to reinforce the initiatives of the other components of the EUSDJ, entailing support to INEC, the political parties, the youths, women, and persons with disability, for the purpose of ensuring the delivery of credible and peaceful recognize elections as the bedrock of any democratic society by expressing their opinions and aspirations. The media plays a very critical role in this process. Broadcast media and the Nigerian Media Code of election, not to mention the overarching constitutional imposed on the media to monitor governance and hold government accountable to the people. That is Section 22 of our Constitution. From all the above, this forum has been designed as a conversation so that we focus on how well we have so far performed our role, what we can do differently and perhaps better, and indeed show the fulfillment of campaign promises for the purpose of democratic accountability. One noticeable trend in election coverage by the media is that there's always, once elections are concluded, we don't document campaign promises and
ladies and gentlemen. As Anambra State once again prepares for a decisive moment in its democratic journey, we gather here not simply to mark another election season, but also to renew a covenant between truth and power, between the governed and those who seek to govern, between the media and democracy itself. The forthcoming Anambra governorship election is not merely an electoral contest. It is a test of faith. Faith in the power of truth to prevail over falsehood, in the power of professionalism to triumph over propaganda, and in the power of collective action to secure peace over polarization.
Surpassing broadcast, print, and online media, playing pivotal roles in engaging the process through professional coverage and reportage of the electoral process. The implementation period is the period actually started from 2022, and it's expected to end by 2027. And the implementation action by IPC/CEMESO covers a broad electoral cycle, which includes the pre-2023 electoral processes, during the 2023 general elections, post-2023 general elections, off-cycle elections in 7 states, pre-2027 electoral processes, and during the 2027 general elections, as well as the immediate post-2027 elections. And the expected results are professionalism of media practitioners, especially women, are enhanced. Media professional capacity to deal with electoral misinformation/disinformation is strengthened. I know Dr. Akuli has also touched on that in his welcome remarks. The media's platforms and their ability to diversify, deepen the coverage of the electoral process, and deliver from your head to toe, you're good looking, and you're commanding your language effectively. Not saying that you must speak Queen's English to perform well. Can you speak it? Some people can speak poorly but write effectively. But they appear corporate, appear like a professional. Stand your ground, demand that facts and figures that you need. Tell them that they don't give you the facts and figures, you will report that you try to get that people numbers. So person needs you to appear in this program to clarify certain things and you don't come. You tell the Nigerians that he invited you but you didn't come. And you know that will bring so many questions unanswered. And today in Nigeria we know that there are 2 very powerful journalists. Who are they? 2. There are 2. And the one very powerful, and I'm sure people will be writing them, telling you that. And we say, oh my God, these 2 gentlemen are doing a tremendous thing. So I can't fulfill 2 power. Typical example, if you fail to, typical example now, let's just tell ourselves the truth. The altercation between Soludo and Ebunife, you know how much that incident heated the politics. Whereas that particular issue has no bearing on the election. But you know how hot it was. You know how it polarized Anambra State. But Soludo begged me that he should fight back. I don't know if you're following me. Soludo and I should fight back. The people will perceive the election as a warfare. Okay? But if you are concentrating on the main issues, if you're concentrating on the major campaign messages, that is how people will be thinking about this election. But if you keep on presenting the election, featuring and framing this election reportage as a warfare, people will feel that the election is a do or die affair. Like once you mention the election, maybe somebody will even die, somebody will be demoralized, somebody will be depressed, and so on and so forth. Now, what are the best practices for election coverage and reporting? Next slide. Best practices for next one. Best practices for election reporting. That is how should we go about reporting the election, especially before the D-Day. This particular election, the commission election we're talking about, is falling on the 8th of November, and we have been doing that.
For bringing about this platform, because it's a kind of re-energizes for us to actually realize and remember our core purpose of being in this profession. But the truth of the matter is that I'm a realistic person. You find out that we are here, we learn and unlearn, like one of the facilitators said. But in reality, you find out that media houses are being remote controlled for certain reasons. They cannot be all inclusive. Certain reasons, censorship comes from the survival strategy. If you remove the government-owned media, who protects the interest of their principal, the private media also survive. They need to survive economically. And you find out that where their interest lies, they have to protect it by being restricting some of the things they broadcast or publish, if the thing will actually affect their economic interest, because they need to remain in business. And these are the issues that have to play out during election period like this, because of all these political interests and the rest of them. But be that as it may, I think this platform actually will go a long way to remind us actually to stick to that ethics, which is the core principle of journalism.
Grace of God, the media is ready for the election. Sometimes the media is used in singular, sometimes the media is used in plural, depending on how you are talking about it. But for this election, I'm saying that the media organizations are ready to cover this organization, and for the good of the society, of the society. Because if the media is biased, the society and the reportage will be biased on what is happening and how it's happening. But when the media people are set and courageous to report the truth, it will help to better society and for a better electoral process. So this is a kind of preparation to set the mindset of the media people on how best to do their job for a better reportage during the elections and a better result announcements that will not bring chaos to society, but to bring peace, and equally do the right thing by announcing exactly what the result is in order to have a peaceful transition.
The whole world is focusing on Anambra at this time towards the elections. The expectation of stakeholders is that this election will be well conducted. We want to see a credible election. And we see, that various stakeholders are preparing, security agencies, the election management body itself, civil society groups, all others are preparing. The media also has to prepare very well. The media is central in all of this. Remember, that the media stays in the middle. It has to bring together even all the other stakeholders. It brings their voices to the citizens. So the media is central. Now, the media in Anambra is one that we know to be vibrant, but the media cannot afford to relax, to say, yes, we are there. This is a new election, and every election comes with its own uniqueness. And so the journalists in this state must prepare for the uniqueness of this election that is coming. So it becomes imperative then, for journalists to come together, to have conversations on the issues that we're seeing and how professionally this will be covered, such that the citizens of this state who are going to vote, will be well informed, will be better educated, and better positioned to make informed choices during the election.